Sigma males don't chase purpose the way most people do. They don't follow the crowd, join a movement, or wait for someone to show them the way. Instead, they listen to something deeper, their own instincts. They move in silence, make their own plans, and work quietly to build a life that feels right to them. And that's how they bring their purpose into reality, not through noise but through clarity and action. For a Sigma male, purpose isn't just about having goals. It's about meaning. It's about waking up and knowing why he does what he does. It's not about pleasing others. It's not about success by society's standards. It's about building something real, something that reflects who he is at his core. Most people look for validation. They want signs they're on the right path. Sigma males don't. They trust themselves. They trust their thoughts, their vision, and their pace. But that doesn't mean they just wait for things to happen. Sigma males are quiet, but they're not passive. They move. They act. They adapt. And that's how they take the purpose inside of them and make it something you can see, hear, and feel. This video is about how that process works. The real steps, not just mindset, but action. The things Sigma males do again and again that turn thought into reality. This isn't about hype. It's not about dreaming big. It's about staying focused, being smart, and building piece by piece. If you've ever wondered how a Sigma male gets things done without following the rules, this is how. It starts with how they use their time, especially when they're alone. Way number 1, embracing solitude for clarity. Every Sigma male starts with solitude. Not because he's trying to run away, but because that's where the noise finally stops. When he's alone, everything becomes clearer. The outside world fades. There's no pressure to fit in. No need to explain himself. And in that quiet space, he can hear what actually matters. Most people avoid silence. They fill their lives with distractions, phones, news, talking, movement. But a Sigma male steps into silence on purpose. He clears out the noise because he knows purpose doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. And to hear it, he needs stillness. In solitude, he starts to think differently. He notices patterns in his life. He remembers what used to drive him. He questions what's working and what's not. He sees what he's been chasing and whether it really matters. This isn't a quick moment. It's a habit. Sigma males take time every day, even just a little, to unplug. No messages, no meetings, just space to breathe and think. It might be a walk, a quiet room, a late night alone. Whatever it is, it becomes the foundation of how he sees his purpose. And the longer he sits in that solitude, the sharper his vision becomes. He starts asking better questions. What do I want to create? What do I need to let go of? What's pulling me off course? These aren't easy questions, but Sigma males aren't afraid to face them. This clarity gives him an edge. While others are chasing trends or getting lost in noise, he's focused. He's not reacting, he's planning. He's not competing, he's creating. And all of that starts in the silence he protects so carefully. Even when life gets busy, a Sigma male will find a way to get back to his space. If he loses it, everything else starts to slip. His patience, his creativity, his drive, all of it comes from being centered. And that center is found in solitude. This is why he might seem distant. Why he doesn't always answer right away. Why he turns down invites or goes quiet for a few days. It's not because he doesn't care. It's because he's sharpening his focus. He's listening. And when he's done listening, he moves with more power than most people ever see coming. Clarity is the first real step to manifesting anything. If you don't know what you want, deeply, clearly, you can't build it. Sigma males know this. And that's why they guard their solitude. It's not empty time. It's strategy. Way number 2, setting intentional goals. Once a Sigma male has clarity, he starts building goals. But not just any goals. His goals are intentional. That means they're connected to who he is, not who others want him to be. He doesn't set goals to impress people. He sets them to align with what he values most. While others chase quick wins, flashy results, or outside approval, the Sigma male stays grounded. His goals are simple but powerful. He picks things that matter long-term, projects that give him meaning, routines that support his growth, skills that give him freedom. Everything he chooses has a reason behind it. This gives him consistency, because when things get hard, and they always do, he doesn't give up. Why? Because the goal wasn't random. It was rooted in something real, something deep. That kind of motivation doesn't fade when things get tough. It grows stronger. When he sets a goal, he doesn't tell everyone. He doesn't make announcements. He doesn't post about it. He keeps it to himself. He writes it down. He builds around it. And then he works quietly and daily until it's done. His goals might seem small from the outside, but each one is a building block. He knows that success isn't made from one big moment. It's made from 100 small wins stacked over time. That's how he moves, steady, focused, and intentional. And if a goal no longer feels right, he doesn't panic. He adjusts. Not out of fear, but out of self-awareness. If something doesn't fit anymore, he lets it go. Not because he failed, but because he evolved. This is another thing that makes Sigma males different. They're not afraid to change direction. But they don't do it impulsively. They do it with thought, with reason, with a sense of purpose that never really changes, even when the plan does. This approach keeps him in control. He doesn't need motivation from outside. He doesn't need someone checking in. His goals are driven by his own energy, and that makes him almost unstoppable when he locks in. Setting intentional goals isn't just about writing a list. It's about building a path that feels like home, a path that challenges him, grows him, and reflects who he really is. When a Sigma male sets that kind of goal, he doesn't hope it works out. He makes it real, step by step, quietly, until everyone around him wonders how he pulled it off so calmly. Way number 3, taking consistent action. A Sigma male doesn't talk about what he's going to do. He just starts doing it. While others plan out loud, look for motivation, or wait for the perfect time, he moves in silence. He understands that the only thing that turns ideas into results is action, and he takes that seriously. But what really separates him from others is consistency. He doesn't just work hard for a few days. He doesn't quit when things get boring. He knows that real progress is slow and steady, so he builds routines. He sticks to them, and he shows up even when it's hard. That doesn't mean he's perfect. He has off days like anyone else, but he doesn't let those days stop him. He doesn't throw everything away because one thing didn't go right. He adjusts, keeps his focus, and picks it back up the next day. Sigma males don't wait for motivation. They rely on discipline. Motivation fades. Life gets messy. But if you've trained yourself to move, no matter what, you can keep going long after others give up. They don't need attention to stay consistent. No one needs to see what they're doing. No one needs to reward them. Their work is for them. It's tied to their purpose. That's what keeps the fire burning. This kind of action is quiet. It's slow. And sometimes it looks like nothing is happening. But behind the scenes, they're stacking progress. Each small step leads to the next. One task, one habit, one decision at a time. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're not looking for shortcuts. They're building something that will last. And they know that only comes from putting in work every day without fail. This consistency shows up in how they treat their health, their business, their relationships, and their mindset. It's not about going fast. It's about going far. And they're willing to take the time it takes. When others start something and quit halfway, the Sigma male is still moving, still grinding, still showing up. Because for him, consistency isn't optional. It's the system. And that system is what brings his purpose to life. Way number 4, leveraging adaptability. Sigma males don't need everything to go as planned. They know that life changes, people shift, circumstances flip, and instead of breaking under pressure, they bend with it. This ability to adapt without losing their core is one of their biggest strengths. They don't fight change. They work with it. If something they built stops working, they don't panic. They step back. They study it. Then they shift. It's not personal. It's just strategy. This mindset helps them survive tough seasons. If they lose a job, they pivot. If a business slows down, they find another angle. If life hits hard, they breathe and adjust. That doesn't mean they like change, but they've trained themselves to move with it instead of against it. Adaptability doesn't mean giving up. It means staying flexible while still aiming at the same goal. Sigma males keep the vision, but change the path if needed. They're not stuck in one way of doing things. They ask questions: what's working? What's not? What needs to change? And they answer those questions with action. They also don't care what others think of their changes. If something no longer fits, they let it go, even if it worked in the past. Even if people expect them to keep going, they choose alignment over comfort, progress over tradition. This adaptability is quiet. It happens in the background, one choice at a time, but the impact is massive. It keeps them sharp, alive, and constantly moving toward their purpose, no matter how the world shifts around them. Way number 5. Cultivating self-reliance. Sigma males don't depend on others to push them, fix them, or make things happen. They build from within. Self-reliance isn't just a habit for them, it's their foundation. They trust their own decisions. They don't second-guess every step. They don't wait for approval. And they don't blame others when things don't go their way. They take full ownership. If it goes wrong, they fix it. If it works, they keep going. This mindset keeps them strong in every area of life. At work, they don't wait for someone to give them a plan. They create one. In relationships, they don't need constant validation. They show up, stay grounded, and lead with honesty. But self-reliance goes deeper than that. It's about building the tools you need inside yourself: emotional control, mental toughness, practical skills, the ability to keep moving even when no one's watching. Sigma males spend years building this mindset, and it's what allows them to stay locked into their path. That doesn't mean they never accept help, but they never expect it. If support comes, great. If not, they're still moving. They're not driven by fear, but by preparation. They prepare for storms before they come. They also don't complain. If something needs to change, they change it. They don't wait for rescue. They rescue themselves. This mindset makes them stand out, because most people rely on others, friends, bosses, partners, to keep them moving. But Sigma males rely on themselves. And that's why they build strong, real results. Because they know it's all on them, and they're ready for that. Way number 6. Reflecting and realigning. Sigma males don't move blindly. Even when they're focused, even when things are going well, they stop to reflect. They check their direction. They ask questions. They don't just want results. They want to make sure those results match their purpose. Reflection is part of their system. It's not something they do only when life falls apart. It's something they do regularly, like a personal check-in. They look at where they are, what they're building, how they feel, and whether or not it still fits who they are becoming. This habit keeps them sharp, because life changes, goals change, people change, and what made sense last year might not work anymore. Sigma males don't hold on just because they started something. If it no longer fits, they adjust. But they don't do it emotionally. They do it from a place of clarity. They might sit down weekly, or take a quiet walk daily. They think about their time, their energy, their direction. What's pulling them forward? What's dragging them down? These small questions keep them aligned with their bigger purpose. They're not afraid to cut things off. If a habit, job, relationship, or routine doesn't support their goals anymore, they walk away. No drama, no announcement, just quiet correction. This reflection also helps them spot burnout early. They know when they're pushing too hard, when their mindset's off, when they've been stuck too long in a place that doesn't serve them. And instead of waiting for things to collapse, they shift. This is one reason they rarely crash. While others go full speed until they break, Sigma males pause. They regroup. They stay on track, not by force, but by awareness. It also helps them stay honest. They don't lie to themselves. They don't pretend something is working if it's not. And that honesty gives them an edge. Because real success isn't about never falling. It's about realigning fast. Getting back on course as soon as you drift. Sigma males don't wait until it's too late. They stay in tune with themselves. They know their patterns. They watch their energy. They keep one eye on the mission and one eye on the mirror. And that's what allows them to turn purpose into reality again and again. Not just with effort, but with direction. Sigma males don't live loud. They don't need to be seen to know they're moving forward. But when it comes to purpose, they're locked in. They don't just dream. They don't just talk. They build, they act, and they follow through. Everything they create comes from a deep place, a place of clarity, a place of alignment. And that's what makes their path different. They begin with solitude, getting clear on who they are and what they truly want. They set goals that mean something, not because the world told them to, but because they feel it's right. Then they move consistently. No rush, no panic, just steady action. When things change, they don't fall apart. They adjust. They stay flexible, but never lose sight of who they are. And no matter what happens, they count on themselves first. Not because they're trying to prove anything, but because they've learned that real strength starts inside. Along the way, they stop, reflect, correct. They stay humble enough to shift and strong enough to keep going. This is how they manifest their purpose. Not by luck, not by hype, but by being focused, intentional, and true to their path. And that's why, even in silence, they're always building something that matters.